In March 2010, a panel of 41 international experts concluded that the impact of an asteroid that smashed into Earth at Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula 65 million years ago probably triggered the global climate change that resulted in the mass extinction of the Earth's dinosaurs. But is there also evidence that some dinosaur species survived? And if so, might they also have evolved?
Paleontologists tell us that, oh, these things have been extinct for 65 million years, yet they still crop up. And they appear to be prehistoric animals, dinosaurs literally, that have survived right down to today. Much like the coelacanth and alligators and sharks and turtles also have survived from those same prehistoric times. I believe that ancient prehistoric monsters are still living in remote areas of the world, either in oceans and lakes or jungle areas to today.
In the Highlands of Scotland, the legend of the Loch Ness Monster has long been part of Celtic and Norse folklore. Recorded accounts of sightings can be traced to the year 565, to the Irish monk St. Columba, a powerful leader who founded monasteries in both Ireland and Scotland. In his journals, Columba wrote of an encounter with people bearing a man near the shores of the now fabled Loch Ness.
They explained to Father Columba that the man who had died had been swimming in the lake and was attacked by the water beast. Upon hearing this, Father Columba sent his own follower into the lake. When the beast came after this man, Father Columba made the sign of a cross and commanded the beast not to harm the man. The beast fled and was never seen harming another man again.
A lot of people don't realize how big Loch Ness is. It's 23 miles long, a mile wide, and at its deepest point, about 800 feet. And the water is very, very dark and dense. And so it is the prime location where conceivably they didn't need to surface that often. They would sort of bypass detection.
When we're confronted with the Loch Ness Monster or any kind of anomalous creature, the question really is, where does it come from? Is it a remnant of the dinosaur age, or is it something which is out of this world? We know that, for example, St. Columba definitely felt that the lake was sacred and that there was something present there which had a religious connotation, which is why he went to that place to begin with.
The intriguing thing is that there actually have been a significant number of UFO sightings over the loch itself, of strange, brightly lit objects hovering over the water late at night, which clearly aren't helicopters or aircraft or meteorites or anything like that at all. So, in other words, Loch Ness is a weird and spooky place.
Could the so-called sea monsters of Loch Ness possibly be descendants of ancient dinosaurs? Or might it be of another, perhaps, extraterrestrial origin? And if so, what might this say about other mythical sea beasts, like the seven-headed Sumerian sea monster, the Leviathan?
The Leviathan is sometimes described as a serpent or a crocodile or a dragon, but it lurks. It is the gatekeeper to a portal to hell. And this gateway to hell is apparently deep in the ocean, and the Leviathan is there forever, lurking.
In Greek myths, the Hydra was described as an ancient sea serpent with many heads. It was said to be a descendant of the earth goddess, Gaia.
Hercules was sent to kill the Hydra, but it was terribly difficult. He would slice off the head, and two heads would form. He had to ask help from his nephew, and his nephew had a brilliant idea. Bring a torch. Fire might keep the heads from forming. So Hercules would bash off one of the heads, and his nephew would essentially cauterize the neck so that another one wouldn't form. And in this way, the Hydra was finally defeated.
In the case of a Hydra, we have something which has several heads, which is once again a category of a creature which you would expect not to see. So we're either confronted here with something which was genetically engineered or which genetically went wrong, but clearly it was of such importance that it was adhered to in mythology, where it attained a status over the years, over the centuries, up until this moment in time.
According to Scandinavian legend, the Kraken are legendary sea monsters of gargantuan size and are said to have roamed the seas off the coasts of Norway and Iceland. This fearsome beast was infamous for its attacks on sailing ships.
The danger was not only being attacked by the Kraken, they would come up to the surface and were enormous, the size of small islands, so you could have a collision with a Kraken that wasn't even out to attack you. Another great danger was that if it submerged suddenly, it formed such a great whirlpool that it could pull the ship under.